Welcome to Get a Healthier Life. So I got on the scale yesterday and I'm down another 1.4 pounds, which is fantastic because that means that since I began this weight loss journey, I am now down 25.2 pounds. This was my next major milestone, so needless to say I was very, very thrilled. And it also meant it was time to pull out the tape measure, but also worse, pull out the camera. I figured it was time to take new full-length shots. Now, before I show you the photos, remember, I still have a long ways to go. When I began this, I wanted to lose between 60 and 80 pounds, and I'm not even halfway there yet. So bear with me as you look at these photos, but hopefully you do see some of the loss in my girth, okay? We'll start with the front view. In this one, you can see, hopefully, what I see, a little more definition in the throat and collarbone area, and overall, not so wide. You can even see a little bit of the wall peeking through between my arm and my torso there. It's not, I mean, I still got a ways to go, but hopefully you do see some improvement. All right, here's the side view. Here it's a little more noticeable because things aren't pooching out quite so far in front of me, and they aren't pooching out quite so far behind me. You can look at the shirt tail, for instance, along the side of my leg. You see that it's not being stretched way out like it was in the before photo. So this is what it looks like to be down 25.2 pounds with still quite the journey ahead of me. All right, now I also pulled out the tape measure and took my measurements. Herbalife gives you a chart to help track your weight loss, and with it you're measuring more than the typical chest, waist, and hips. So that's what you're going to see here, the breakdown of how much I've lost so far since I began my journey in all the various places that I'm tracking. In the upper chest, I'm down 2.5 inches. That's the area basically right below the underarms. In my chest, I'm down 2 inches. I love this one. In my waist, I am down 4 inches. That's why when you see that side view, things aren't pooching out quite so far in front of me. And then the next one, in my hips, I'm down 3.5 inches, so there's why things don't pooch out quite so far behind me. In my right thigh, I'm down 3.5 inches. In my left thigh, I'm down 3 inches. And in both of my upper arms, they're each down 1.5 inches. If you add all of those up, since I began this journey, I am down 21.5 inches. This gives me the perfect way to tell you about this week's tip, measurements. I know that there are some of you who like to get on the scale every day, and there are some of you that pull out that tape measure every week. I don't recommend either. For some people, getting on the scale every day can be very motivating. If you see it tick up ever so slightly, you know, okay, I need to step up my exercise, or I need to cut back a little on my calories. So that's good, but if your scale's not exactly on the money, it may throw you off. And pulling out the tape measure too frequently can be very depressing. I mean, using a tape measure is an inexact science when it comes to taking your body's measurements. Are you holding it in the very same place you did the last time you took the measurements? Are you pulling it to the same degree of tightness? There's a lot of factors involved. And let's be honest, from one week to the next, the amount of reduction may be rather small, so those little factors can really throw it off. This is why I only pull out the tape measure when I hit a milestone point, which for me is going to range between 10 pounds or 15 pounds. If you've lost 10 pounds or 15 pounds, there's going to be a difference with that tape measure no matter what factors are involved. So that's my tip for you. Get on the scale. Once a week should be sufficient. Now, I do get on it midweek anytime I think maybe I'm not on track. But other than that, I don't do it any more frequently than that. I don't do it every day. And don't pull out that tape measure too close to each other. Wait until you've definitely lost at least 10 pounds before you try to take your measurements again. That's all for this time. Come back and see me.